season. In his first 23, he's led the Cavaliers to the NCAA tournament every single time. Boston College in white, Virginia in blue. Cavaliers looking to start 11-0. Boston College looking for its second win against a top 3 team in the last week plus 1 day.
And as we said right at the outset, Bill, let's take a look and see how the conditions tonight impact this game. Right from the get-go, it's slippery. Obviously, that's going to affect the footing. The wind will impact the way the ball travels through the air. Maybe more than anything, it's going to be that puddling that you see on the field that's collected in a lot of the turf spots. It should have a big impact on the way that these teams want to move the ball tonight.
Wind in this first half, at least since you judge by the rain and the flags, is blowing at the backs of the Cavaliers and a little bit across the pitch as well. But the wind in Virginia's favor in this first half. If the wind stays consistent, that means it would be in Boston College's favor in the second half.
And just to put it into context, it's been raining all day, but for the last about two and a half hours, it's rained as hard as it has throughout this entire system. That's why you see those puddles. Look at the midfield area. You see the rain is really collected right there in the circle.
This Virginia defense this year has been so sturdy. It's not just the one goal allowed. It's that they've only given up 25 shots on goal through 10 games this year. Big reason why is they don't have to defend that much in their own end. They win the balls in the midfield. They're great up the middle, and they just don't allow that many shots to be put on by their opponents throughout the course of a game. Ball comes forward to Stefan Sigurdsson, who's been red hot for Boston College. Sigurdsson with 3 goals in the last couple games.
Well, let's look at the 3 who play right in front of Colin Shuttler. Fame Funa, Kessler, and Euland. They have played pretty much every minute of every game this season. And that's kind of what I was talking about. While we looked at Shuttler making some great saves, he has so much stability.
Yeah, Fame Funa may be the best defender in the conference this year. He's been so solid, a leader and a captain as well. Euland is a freshman, at least in class, but he's played all the way up with the Norwegian U21 team. So George Galnevach says there is no such thing as a freshman when you're talking about Andreas Euland. He was ready to play from the moment he stepped on campus, and Henry Kessler Jr. was a second-team All-Region, third-team All-ACC pick last year. Ball comes back in toward the defender Kessler. And they'll work it all the way back to Shuttler. This is something Virginia likes to do. They're very confident with Shuttler at his feet. So they'll play the ball through him to work their offense the other way.
And it keeps him active, Bill. If you're not going to see a lot of shots, sometimes you might have a tendency to get lackadaisical or fall asleep a bit. When he has to handle the ball, obviously that keeps him in tune with the rest of the flow of the game.
Joe Bell, who really pulls the strings in the midfield, works the ball to the outside. Comes back to Bell, an all-region pick last year, and a member of the Norwegian the New Zealand U20 national team. Bell's played at the U20 World Cup with New Zealand as well.
Second on this team in scoring this year. Got a couple of goals, 3 assists. Bell is one of the best offensive options.
Cavaliers were looking for Daryl Dike, one of their top offensive threats, cut down by David Longo, but ball very quickly right back to Virginia again. Here's the captain, Fame Funa. Senior out of Germany, came up with the Bundesliga side, Borussia Mönchengladbach, all the way through their youth development academy. This is Dike, back toward goal, looking to make an overlapping run with Bell in the midfield. Cavaliers happy to play the ball back and really sit on possession. They boss the games when they play them because they have so much of the ball. On the far sideline, Longo stepping up. It ricocheted off a couple of bodies, still in play, forcing Joe Kellett to look to clear it. Beto Luna blasts forward, and Boston College survives the first foray into the 18 from the Cavaliers.
Yeah, and it was very nearly a corner for Virginia. Longo had hit the ball, but just kept skipping right along the end line, but just never went out.
All the way back to Shuttler again. Let's count the touches early. That's 3 touches for Shuttler in the first 5 minutes just as part of this breakout game.
Really good spacing by Virginia. They really spread you out defensively. And as you said, love to possess and I think you used a great word, boss the game around.
Into the 5th minute, no score, no shots yet on either side, and that's not all that unusual. Virginia in their 10-0 start, averaging less than 2 goals per game, 1.8 goals per. They'll play at a deliberate tempo. Here they come on offense. First touch in the attacking end, trickles through as Irikozi Donesiano just came up empty. Back to Afamafuna. He'll serve it in, looking for Dike. It's deflected away.
Boy, and I think Christian Garner got a little bit fortunate there, Bill. The first shot that came his way was going wide, but he elected to play the ball and then gave the opportunity. Watch this, off this first shot. This is not going on net, but with Garner making the save, it gave up the rebound opportunity. Look at that. That's going a few feet wide.
Garner's been really good since taking over for the injured Giacomo Picardo. Back-to-back clean sheets for Garner. He was strong against Wake Forest in the win last Friday, a 2-1 BC win as well. But there, like you said, the juicy rebound set up Dike, who just pulled it wide.
Well, look at what's happened for BC, Bill. Since Garner took over in net, they're undefeated.
Yep.
3 wins, couple of ties, and he has 3 shutouts in his 5 starts. And so they keep riding the hot hands. He's done a very nice job. I thought that his first half in the upset against Wake Forest a week ago was maybe one of the strongest halves that Boston College has had in net all season.
Alex Mielis couldn't keep it in play. Yeah, his numbers are really good. And he's a guy who, coming into this year, was not expected to see a ton of time. It was expected to be Giacomo Picardo. Picardo gets banged up, and Garner's taken advantage of the opportunity to the point where even when Picardo is healthy, you'd assume that Garner's earned himself time in the cage, even when it gets back to a 2-keeper system.
Well, his numbers are great, but again, it's the wins and losses that ultimately tell the story, and Picardo's got a couple of defeats.
DK's shot was blocked. Here's Afamafuna. These outside backs really have the freedom to flood forward for Virginia. From a long way out, Brett Halsey puts it on, and Garner knocks it out for the game's opening corner.
And that one hard to tell if that was going on cage or not, but Garner not taking any chances. Watch the wet ball. I think that's going wide too, Bill.
Yep.
That's a couple of them that he's elected to play, and this time he gives up a corner in doing so.
Yeah, better safe than sorry, but you're right. That one would have been wide for a goal kick. This is crushed. You wonder if the wind had anything to do with that. Way over the box and right back to Boston College.
Well, you got to read the elements. Not easy to do on a night like tonight, but you're right. Way too much English on that corner kick to give it right back to BC.
We talked to a couple of the folks in the UVA traveling party led by head coach George Gelnevach and said, what was the weather like in Charlottesville before you left to come up to Boston? 75 and sunny. Today, right around 50 degrees, rained all day. There's a coastal storm, a nor'easter, that's sitting off the coast of Massachusetts right now.
How about for Coach Gelnevach? Now 10 wins at least in all 24 of his seasons in Charlottesville.
He's made the NCAA tournament every single year, and I think you can pencil them in for 24 in a row under George Gelnevach, as they could probably lose out the regular season, and with the wins they already have on their resume, still make the tournament.
And they haven't had to travel very much. This is only the 4th game they've played away from Charlottesville, and only the 3rd, Bill, that's truly a road contest.
There's a long ball forward, Longo trying to cut off Dike, and he does, playing it to the corner flag. Well done by Boston College redshirt junior David Longo. Yeah, the one neutral site game was a win against then number 1 Maryland, played at the home of DC United in Washington, D.C., and their only road games this year are all conference games, no non-conference true road games. They've gotten a lot of good teams to travel to Charlottesville in the non-conference this year.
Beat Louisville last week. That's the last game. They've had a full 7 days of rest coming up here to Newton for this one.
Tyshawn Rose for Boston College on the ball under some pressure, looking to get rid of it, and he does. George Gelnevach said, you need a week like this to stay fresh. One of the things he was talking about with us this week is that this team's done a nice job avoiding getting complacent, which can be hard to do when you're playing as well as this group has and haven't given up a goal in more than 630 minutes at this point. But he said this week, you get to the point of the season where maybe you just don't want to see each other for a couple of days, so they took Saturday and Sunday fully off. Monday was a very light practice before they got back to work on Tuesday and Wednesday.
Maybe about halfway through your year, you end up hitting the reset button a little bit, kind of like a bye week in football. Good time to do it, and George Gelnevach, he knows the strings to pull and when to do it. Like Bill, the aggregate score 18-1
Yep.
through their first 10 matches.
That one is just the staggering number. 1 goal against through 10 matches.
Now 18, that's not an astronomical total. You mentioned it earlier, the goals per game under 2. So they've been low-scoring wins for the most part.
Comfortable playing those 1-0, 2-1 type of games. And a little bit of contact early, a foul called on Boston College co-captain Adam French. Referees today, Carmen Serbio calling the fouls on the field. Matthew Mercer and Sean Reagan are the assistant referees.
Boy, and Nathaniel Crofts there was waiting for the whistle and finally came. And that's going to give a free kick here to the Cavaliers.
Joe Bell will come up to take it, the junior from Wanaka, New Zealand. The numbers for Virginia this season. Surprising that the corner kicks are dead even at 61, but everything else is mighty impressive. Even the fact that they've given up 61 corner kicks and haven't allowed any goals off those 61 set pieces.
Well, they're going to get a corner here.
Second corner today as Sigurdsson could only head it out over the end line.
Just not taking any chances. With that ball being floated towards the box, Sigurdsson says, let me get this out of harm's way.
Shots are 4-0 Cavaliers. Boston College has not had the ball in the attacking third at all yet today. And that's just how Virginia plays. Joe Bell to serve it in. Here's a glancing header wide of Garner, who got just a slight touch, and it's another corner kick.
I think this one was going in. Let's take a look. Garner had to stop this.
Oh,
Off
yeah.
the head there of Henry Kessler. Great job by Garner to save goal number 1 on the day.
Remarkable work from Christian Garner. Still 0-0. Into the 13th minute, Joe Bell right back to the corner flag.
That man there, the defense coming up. Henry Kessler, 6 feet 4 inches.
Back post, headed wide, and out for another corner kick.
Now this time it's Adam French. He's the one who hit it.
And Andreas Ueland was going for it for Virginia.
A little bit of contact there to the head of Andreas Ueland. Another big guy, 6'4". He's a freshman, but man, he doesn't look like it, does he, Bill?
He doesn't play like it either, as George Gelnevach said. He basically said to us he's not a freshman. The level he's played at. On the back post, Ueland came up just empty. Wide left after that ball found him on the back post.
I thought this was a great job by Boston College there. That's Ian Bueller. Got the start today. Watch him stay right with Ueland.
And Adam French might have gotten a piece too.
Yeah, that's French. The whole way, not Bueller. Ueland saying, oh, so close.
Shots 5-0 in favor of Virginia. Can Boston College mount some offense? Ball rolls away from Sigurdsson. Because possession will be so limited in general when you go up against Cavaliers, you have to value the ball whenever you have it.
Well, last week when Boston College upset then third-ranked Wake Forest, it was similarly one-sided in the first half. The Eagles then made some great adjustments. The game really turned, and they possessed the ball a lot more in half number 2. A half in which they scored the winning goal from Sigurdsson.
Throw in for Virginia. Robin Ifamafuna will throw it in.
He's got it. He's on it. He's on top of it. Guys, we got it. We got a good level. Relax, guys. Bring it back.
You can hear the officiating crew doing a nice job keeping everybody calm there over on that Virginia sideline.
Yeah, Boston College bench been a little bit heated as well, dating back to what they thought were a couple of push-offs in the box on the Cavaliers. There's Victor Souza sliding the ball away. Souza's been a pretty impressive center back as a freshman. Came out of the New York City Football Club Academy, one of the best club academies in the U.S. Beto Luna plays it out. Afamafuna will throw it in. Again, he's a back, but he has that freedom to push way up the pitch. We've seen him involved in the offense throughout today. Nathaniel Crofts moves it. Joe Bell's toe poke is high and wide for a goal kick.
I think it's just so hard, Bill, tonight with these conditions on a quick touch like that for Bell to put it where you want to. The ball bouncing crazy ways, and he ended up knocking it 20 feet up over the net.
I would say, though, so far the weather does not feel like it's had the impact it could have. Virginia has not had to alter what they do very much at all. DK coming in very hard. That should be a card.
Boy, and he's such a big guy, too. DK knocking over Ian Bueller. You see the agony for the Boston College junior. They've stopped the clock here because of this contact right in the back. I agree with you, Bill. I think a yellow should be the decision here from referee Carmen Servio.
He has not shown a card yet. I thought he was giving card when he stopped the clock, but he just stopped it for the injury. At this point, we haven't seen any cards issued.
Obviously taking a look at the leg, trying to stretch it out.
Looks like Carmen Servio might come and talk to the fourth official and see if he got a better look at that play. Victor Matheson is our fourth official today.
Well, DK, 6'2", 220. Bueller giving away a lot of size and weight, and he takes that almost like a safety coming in over a wide receiver.
And then I think where the injury happened is he landed on Bueller's leg after the contact. But Bueller now looks like he's bounced back pretty well. And again, no card yet for DK, so it looks like as of now, as Carmen Servio makes his way over to talk to Daryl DK, he may have dodged a bullet.
And that's the leading scorer for the Cavaliers.
Felt like a linebacker, too.
He really is. I said safety, but you're right. It's probably more like a middle linebacker. Hitting a wide receiver coming across the middle.
Out of Edmond, Oklahoma. His brother played in the MLS after a college career at Notre Dame. Here's the first touch in terms of keeping. He's had a couple of passes, but Schuttler has to run down a long pass. First time he's played it with his hands today.
The official totals have the shots at 7-0. Just over 15 minutes into this game.
They don't keep possession numbers in college soccer, but if we were looking at possession on the ball right now, it's probably a 3-1 margin for Virginia.
Easily, if not greater. But Boston College has hung in there. Really only one great scoring chance. Garner's made a couple of plays where the ball appeared to be going wide. And statistically, they've given credit to him on a save.
Offside flag was up, so ball back to Virginia. Remember, for Boston College, Christopher Conradson's still not really capable of playing a full 90, so he'll likely enter in the second half as he has the last couple of games, and that makes Boston College much more dynamic. He is a true playmaker for the Eagles, and Mike Susky is a real super sub for Boston College as well. So I think right now you try to hold serve early so you can eventually get those guys in. Well done in center back. Henry Kessler clears it out.
That play was on sides there. Nifty setup by BC to try to find Sigurdsson. And unfortunately, Virginia just comes away with it there. So you take a look at Henry Kessler.
BC bringing it back. A ball from Longo is cleared out by Afamafuna.
Hey, you were talking about Boston College bringing both Conradson and Susky in late. Take a look at some of the youngsters here braving the elements tonight to watch this one. The Eagles had a leading scorer, Amos Shapiro-Thompson, go out last week. He hasn't played now in 3 straight games.
Yep, he's out again today.
Yep.
So
you're missing some serious scoring punch on the field here.
And Shapiro-Thompson also provides speed, and you can use that speed against this Virginia team to try to put some stress on what is the best defense in the country. Donasiania dispossessed by Bueller. Good to see Bueller back and springy after taking that knock. 18th minute, no score. 7 shots for Virginia, nothing yet for Boston College. It's a good ball by Afamafuna, splitting a double team. Donasiano's pass intercepted. Tyshawn Rose. Eagles have resorted to a lot of home run balls at this point. It's tough to get through the midfield against this Virginia team.
And just do whatever you can to get the ball to the opposite side of the field, even if just for a little while. Keep it out of this end. Give your team a little bit of a respite from facing pressure. That field has been slanted. That was sloppy there. Giveaway by the Cavaliers.
Rare mistake for this Virginia club. It was interesting talking to George Gelnevach this week. You got the feeling that, I don't know if anyone expects it to be this dominant, but he thought this team would be really good this year. Asked him, do you think it could be 10-0 to start the season? He said, honestly, yeah, we brought back a lot from a good team last year. In the spring season exhibitions, they were great against ranked teams, so they came into this year very confident, and they're putting themselves in position to try and win their first national championship since 2014. Virginia has been one of the historic powers in men's college soccer.
Only unbeaten left in the ACC.
One of 3 unbeaten, untied teams left in college soccer. 14th ranked Missouri State, and how about 19th ranked Navy? The midshipmen are unbeaten, entering a big game against Army West Point tonight. The cadets would love to hand Navy their first loss of the year. SMU undefeated along with Charlotte. Those teams, though, both have ties, so only 3 unbeaten, untied teams in the country.
That Charlotte program coming up, making some noise nationally, getting into the top 5 in the country. Got a lot of good players down in that South North Carolina area. Right around Charlotte. See a lot of them end up at ACC schools.
South North Carolina, the North.
Yeah. But South Carolina.
And Bell working back and forth. Joe Cowett steps up, taking the ball away from DK.
Boy, what a physical presence, DK. I mean, that guy, you talked about how he looks like a linebacker, but he's so agile.
He's the epitome of a holding striker, a guy who can finish, but a guy who can also play back to goal, hold up possession, and connect passes to his teammates, similar to what Josie Altidore does best.
You talked about it. Good bloodlines. Older brother, really a standout at Notre Dame. About a decade ago, and a lot of MLS experience for bright DK.
A lot of possession forward, but the pass from Brett Halsey goes out of play.
Boy, look at Crofts. He said, I thought I had a great opportunity. Got to give me a chance. Halsey leading too much. Maybe the conditions playing into that. And BC has made it over 20 minutes in this game now without allowing a goal, despite all the pressure.
And Virginia has made it over 20 minutes in this game without allowing a shot. Par for the course for this national leading Virginia defense. Lead the nation in goals against average, save percentage, as you'd expect when you've given up just 1 goal through 10 games. Henry Kessler will throw it in. Guys should be familiar with the Boston weather, at least a bit, based on bloodlines. His dad played football and lacrosse at Harvard, just across town.
Younger brother Reed is also on this Virginia team.
A couple pairs of brothers on this UVA team. Keeper Colin Shuttler, his brother Chris, is actually a year older than him, a redshirt senior also on this team, also a goalkeeper. So little brother Colin has the upper hand on his older brother when it comes to keeper time for this UVA squad.
Try to score a goal in that family backyard game. Try to beat either of those two Shuttlers. Not easy.
See, Boston College can maybe create a little more pressure here and put some stress on Virginia as they make these connecting passes between Kessler and Euland.
I think you made a great point, though, Bill, for the interim head coach tonight, Bob Thompson. It seems to me like the plan is just try to withstand the opening half. Try to keep it scoreless if at all possible. And And then you bring in the firepower with Conradson and Susky in the second half, and maybe that's when you try to attack.
And Conradson is a definite game changer. He's as much a game changer as anyone on Boston College with his playmaking ability and speed from his center attacking midfield position. So not having him for a full 90 hurts, but he's made serious impacts in the second half of the last two matches. It's a good ball to the outside, an important intervention on the recovery. Aaron James, the midfielder out of Amherst, Massachusetts, got back in transition.
Well, here's how BC got that chance. It's Lasse Lehman. And it was knocked out over the sideline there by James. But the senior from Munich not only was able to anticipate a pass, intercept it, but he's the one who himself brought it across the midfield.
When I asked George Galnevach why his team defense was so good, one of the things he said is that they are phenomenal in transition. They get back so well, like we saw there from James, that they just don't give up transition opportunities. If you're looking for things that Virginia's still looking to improve on as you watch this game, see if they can get the ball to the outside more on offense. George Galnevach said they wanted to get their wing players more involved in the flow. I think we've seen that with Afama Funa so far today. Here's Sigurdsson for Boston College running into a double team, and Afama Funa plays it forward to Daryl Dike. Kellett looking to recover. And Dike still on the ball. This is a strong run. And Dike's upended.
Boy, that's clean, too. Great job by Victor Souza. Stepping in, wins the ball. He gets there first. Here comes 15. Right after DK got around Kellett. Good call by the official, too.
Yeah, really strong challenge from Souza. Souza was a really good find by this BC staff. A little bit under the radar because he played behind two center backs on that New York City FC development club that both signed professional contracts last year. So he didn't see quite as much time as a lot of other players come play at this college level. Didn't mean he wasn't capable. He's still one of the best young center backs in the country who's just stuck behind two pros.
Started every game this year. Now 12 of them for Boston College. He has been a mainstay on the field.
Sigurdsson switching the pitch across to Tyshawn Rose. Looking for Alex Mayelis and up out of play.
You got to drive the ball lower than that tonight. You try those long passes. Anything up into the air like that's just going to get blown by that wind and rain. My goodness.
Yeah, it's brutal right now. Day where you're grateful to be sitting in a heated booth and not on the pitch. Our camera crew doesn't have that same luxury. They're working hard, braving the elements.
Folks bringing you the pictures, also the audio, sounds of the game. They're braving it out there with the players and the fans. Bring this one to you here on ACC Network Extra. This is a night where you earn your money.
You know, all I could think about, Josh, when we showed the kids in the crowd across the way is that many kids here means there's a whole lot of dedicated parents out in the elements as well. Here as we have another hard challenge and a possible card. It will be a yellow card issued.
This is Ian Bueller. Watch 24 loses possession, and then it's a late tackle.
Ooh, didn't look all that late on review, but Bueller for the late tackle, tagged for a yellow card. And that's Axel Gunnarsson, a freshman that George Galnevach is really high on, who's still down, and they'll bring the training staff over.
I can be honest with you, though, if you're looking for consistency out of the referee, if he did not give the yellow card to DK's challenge earlier, I don't think this one should bring out a yellow either, but it's going to.
Yeah, that DK challenge was from behind. This was from the front and actually seemed to get the ball. So here's what we're talking about with the DK challenge first.
And that one right into the back of Ian Bueller. Bueller was able to return into the game.
Yeah, that was not carded, and then Bueller comes in and is carded.
Meanwhile, they still work on the injury here to Axel Gunnarsson.
Member of the Swedish U19 national team, Gunnarsson, player that George Galovich said it took a little time to adjust to the college game, but he thought he was really ready to break out coming into these last few weeks of the regular season before the postseason, as he's now really adjusted to that tempo and intensity.
Let's look at it again and see after Bueller loses possession. Here comes Gunnarsson. Boy, you're right, Bill. That's close. Now, obviously, it looks pretty bad with the way Gunnarsson goes down, grabbing right at that shin. I'm not sure if that's card worthy. Referee Carmen Serbio disagrees. Good to see here with Gunnarsson, the freshman, getting to his feet. You know, those bang-bang plays, it's such a tough call. We get the benefit of slow motion. Referees have to make their decision in real time. First card of the match, too.
Let's take a look as slow as we can. Again, the luxury that we have that they don't. See how it timed up. Yep, ball first.
Yep.
And that's why Bueller had such a strong reaction.
When you win the ball, you should not get called. So now he'll have to be careful playing on the yellow.
It's hard enough to score on Virginia 11-11. Certainly can't afford to go down to 10. That's what happened with Louisville when they played Virginia last week. Louisville played the last 69 minutes down a man.
2-0 was the final. You probably figure that Virginia may have been able to put up some more goals had they really pushed, playing a man up for as long as they did in that contest. Shots are still 7-0 in favor of the Cavaliers, but it's been a good 10 minutes since they've registered a shot.
And they've been happy just to possess and defend the Eagles as well. Ball takes a hop down. Crofts kind of fanned on the volley. That's easy for Christian Garner.
And if he'd gotten a better piece of that, he had a good chance to score. Nobody between he and the goalie.
Good ball forward from Tyshawn Rose. Forces it to be played out of play by the Cavalier defense. And Aaron James collapsing back. Neither side has made a substitute yet as we continue to play on here in the 27th minute. First time Boston College has gotten the ball into the box today. Serve back towards Sigurdsson and headed away by Ueland.
Well, he's their best target right there in front of the net. Sigurdsson scored a similar play against Northeastern the other day, 6-3. So some size in front of the goal. It's the best scoring opportunity that BC's had. It was big Henry Kessler to get to the ball before Stefan Sigurdsson's head could reach it.
That height on the back line, another reason why Virginia is so tough with both Ueland and Kessler going at 6'4". Boston College trying to break what is just turning into an epic streak for UVA. They're up to 655 minutes since allowing that goal against Duke in a 2-1 overtime win. Now, Virginia does have a streak 10 years ago that went 9 straight shutouts. So this is not unprecedented territory for the Cavaliers.
Boy, good ball by Kellett setting this up here for Boston College.
Sigurdsson plays it into space. Tyshawn Rose joins the rush, crossing back post over the top of French. Bella header not all the way out. Bueller on the volley, well wide. Still, more positive for Boston College over the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, and there you just saw the first shot of the match for BC. Ian Bueller coming up into the play. Ball kind of yo-yo pinballing around, and there's that one touch and well high and wide.
You wonder if that's the type of goal, though, that you're going to need to score against Virginia. One of those ridiculous volleys as the BC defense, Victor Souza, shields DK from the ball and allows Garner to vacuum it up. 29th minute, top-ranked, unbeaten, untied Virginia and Boston College. Eagles looking for their second top 3 win in the last 8 days of ACC soccer. Sigurdsson turned off the ball by Kessler.
Yeah, he's got a target on his back tonight. You can see it. 3 defenders converging on Sigurdsson as he got the ball.
Kellett heads it back, comes down to Doniciano.
Boy, that hit the hand of Bueller, I think. Yep, there it is. There's a late call, but it's the right one.
So a free kick coming, centered up. This is in a territory where theoretically you could take a crack at net, but you're more likely to play a set-piece ball. Does feel like Boston College, though, Josh, has played their way into this match a little bit.
Ian Bueller has been right in the middle of a lot of the action here. Pretty easy call there for the official. See that ball glancing right off the arm. And it looks like it'll be Joe Bell here to take the free kick.
Second team all-region player, 2 goals, 3 assists already this season. Bell drives it through on Garner. It's a good save going up toward the bar. 5th today for Christian Garner.
Well, he's been tested. That one, perhaps the highest degree of difficulty yet. Time to jump. Got the hands together. Good punch up over the top.
4th corner kick for Virginia. Back post again, sails over everybody. Bell measured the free kick almost perfectly for the second time today. He overcooks the corner.
Going in that direction, too, each time. BC's going to its bench, and here comes Jesus Sawagun. Garner, one of the things that impresses you about him, seems to be a little bit calmer than you'd expect, Bill, for someone who has not had a lot of playing time.
Must be that beach lifestyle. He's from Orleans, Mass, way out on the Cape, the outer Cape.
His 3rd career start, beat the number 3 team in the country. Pretty good resume builder early on. That'll do something for your calmness and for your confidence. 4th career start.
After a summer working on the lobster boat with his dad out off Cape Cod. You know, after you do that for a summer, the challenge of playing the number 1 team in the nation probably doesn't feel quite as stark. Got to work pretty hard on those lobster boats.
Well, I think so. You know, I haven't personally experienced
I've been
the
told,
lobstering lifestyle, as you say.
By
all I know is the buoys are out there, and you just kind of hope, right?
I've experienced the lobster lifestyle so much in as I have eaten my fair share of lobster rolls, lobster bisque, and lobster tails throughout the course of my livelihood.
I certainly appreciate all those who do the dirty work.
Garner taking his time, and DK will just kind of walk up to him to make him pick the ball up.
You would pick it up, too, if Big Daryl DK was walking towards you. Field's starting to even out a little bit more. Slant towards this direction. BC having more possession here over the last 5 to 10 minutes.
And again, if BC can survive this first half where they're playing without Susky and Konradson, get to the second half, maybe get those guys into the match, they'll start to feel very good about at least creating some more pressure as a foul is called against Sigurdsson and Boston College.
Yeah, big forward, a little too handsy there. Hands, body, a little bit of both. Here it comes. There it was. That's the shot. Finally got him for that. It was physical sequence.
They always get you for the second one. Ullin maybe gave him a little bit of a shove beforehand, but Sigurdsson, with the retaliation, picks up the foul call.
I think you do have to be physical, though, against this Virginia team.
Yeah.
Hard to match their physicality, but you want to try.
DK using that strength to get past Longo before Souza comes back to help. Longo plays it forward. That's well done on the outside. Aaron James gets it back up to DK. James has made some really strong plays at right midfield today.
And that's great work along the sideline there by Tyshawn Rose for Boston College. Comes to maneuver his way along and keep the ball in play.
Comes all the way back to Shuttler, US U19 national team member. Both his parents went to Virginia, on top of his older brother who's also on this squad. Doniciano to the outside. Nathaniel Crofts cutting back. Finds the trailer Halsey. And the BC defense locks down at the top of the box. Here's Bell re-triggering. It's a patient approach from Virginia. They're not afraid to go backwards.
It's a very important 10:45. Virginia, they'd love to get a goal going into halftime. BC, we've talked about how they must just be thinking, can we survive 0-0 going into half? That's what they're trying to do, and then the game can change when they can go to the bench.
Shots are 9-1 Cavaliers in this opening half. Doniciano bending off the side of the post, and Kellett clears it away. Garner got a piece, then the inside post, and it stayed out.
Here at Cozy, Doniciano, watch 11 with a beautiful ball here with the right foot. I don't know if Garner touched it, but man, did he get saved by the post. Yeah, I think he did.
Yep, slight deflection.
Yep, deflected it. That probably changed direction just enough to keep it from going inside the net.
Here at Cozy, Doniciano Jr. from Roanoke, Virginia, Patrick Henry High School, by way of Tanzania, emigrated to the United States when he was younger, the fourth of 10 kids. So he is fourth oldest, 6 younger siblings, 3 older siblings for Irakoze.
That's full house. I think it helps you when you're becoming an athlete too, Bill. You know you got to fight for everything from a young age.
Yep. And pretty good pickup games in the backyard. You can almost feel the full team.
You play a little 5-on-5.
Yep.
Modify. Almost a goal there.
Invite the shuttlers over, and you've got a couple keepers. You don't even need to waste any bodies to defend the net. Afamafuna with the interception, and now Virginia will look to counterattack. DK ripped down by Souza. There was tush right into the defender and went down.
Yeah, he pretty much did all he could. Souza giving up so much size to Daryl DK. So just trying to body him off that ball. Got whistled for the foul.
Here's Bell picking his way through. Plays the ball back to Euland.
BC's been called for 6 fouls here in the half.
Just 2 on Virginia. Top of the box, it's settled down and cleared away. That was Axel Gunnarsson. Remember, he took the knock earlier, but Gunnarsson only missed about 30 seconds before returning to the match. Shots are now 10-1 Cavaliers. They have dominated the ball. They have bossed the game for the most part, but nothing to show for it yet. And the longer this game goes at 0-0, the more you'd expect Eagle confidence to grow, kind of similar to that Wake Forest game last week.
Very much so, and that also hat tip already to Christian Gardner. I know we've talked a lot about it, but how about 6 saves officially here in the first half? That's a couple weeks worth of work for a lot of goalies.
Particularly for Colin Shuttler, who's made 24 saves through 10 games this year, allowing just the 1 goal. DK wins so many of those aerial balls just using his size to box out the defender. The Eagles turn it back. Afamafuna read it well and intervenes. Doniciano. Intercepted. Alex Mielis gets to it first for Boston College, looking to feed Sigurdsson. Boy, he and Euland have been in a physical battle down that flank for the last 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, it looked to me there like Andreas Euland got away with a bit of a push. But you're right, physicality just knocked big Stefan Sigurdsson right off his path.
Bell trickles one forward. Good chance on the outside. Gunnarsson stepping up into the flow of the attack. Cuts it back against Souza and leaves for Afamafuna. Gunnarsson, Bender blocked, Souza got in the way. Comes back toward Gunnarsson and trickles away. BC holds, and Jesus Sawagun starts the breakout. It's a good ball through the back line. Stefan Sigurdsson with a good chance. Couldn't make it past Euland on the toe poke, and he stays down.
Maybe had his foot clipped here on the shot. Let's take another look. Trying to sell a call here is Stefan Sigurdsson. He's first to it with Euland coming from behind. I don't know if there's anything there.
Yep. Rare mistake by Kessler, though, to let that ball go through and create at least a half chance for Boston College. Sawagun.
They've been a little bottled up, Virginia has, the last few attacking chances. A lot of guys in close, not quite the spacing that we talked about earlier.
Yeah. And that was one of the things George Galnavach talked about. He said sometimes we can get a little bit bunkered up in the middle of the pitch and need to make sure we're using the outsides of the field as well. First question I asked him is, all right, I know every coach is going to find something to work on, so what's the thing you want to work on most right now in the midst of your 10-0 start? And that's what he pointed to.
Well, that bugaboo has reared its head here, certainly over the last few minutes. They continue to possess, though. Again, a goal going into halftime feels like it could be pretty paramount here for the visitors.
You just feel like if Virginia gets the first goal, their confidence grows to a point where they know that's usually enough. And opponents know it too. They know how hard it is to score on Virginia. So the first goal tonight feels like it's going to be huge based on which way it goes, if there is a first goal tonight. Here's DK, top of the 18. Trickles to the outside and squirts away from Nathaniel Crofts, the junior from Sheffield, England.
When you're out shooting your opponent, as Virginia is 11-1, you really do feel like you've left something out there if you don't get on the scoreboard.
Gunnarsson overcooked it.
Now Gunnarsson maybe pressing a little bit since he's come back into this match. Got the contact from Bueller that had him on the turf for a couple of minutes. Wanted to make a play for his team.
Shots 11-1 in favor of Virginia. 6 on goal for the Cavaliers. 6 saves for Christian Garner. Corner kicks are also 5-0 Virginia today. Yet we play in the 42nd minute in a 0-0 match. 10-0 Virginia. 7-2-2 Boston College. Looking for another resume builder today.
There are the shots. You talked about the ones that have gotten on goal. More than half of them by UVA, according to the official stat keepers. Boston College wants to turn those numbers around as much as they can in the second. That's foul on Virginia.
Yeah, it's Gunnarsson as Kellett went down. Crucial call because Gunnarsson had some space breaking toward the 18.
And they don't get called for many fouls. Let's take a look at it here. From behind, maybe just enough of a push there. Yep, I like it. From Gunnarsson. BC withstands another chance.
Beto Luna steps in front, cuts it off. Loss of Lehman, a little back and forth action.
Well, we haven't called Lehman's name a lot here in this half. He's been very active in the midfield for BC during this unbeaten streak.
Bell, perfect pass for Gunnarsson forward. DK making a run. Now to the outside, Dodiciano. Souza, who's been busy as well, knocks it out for a Virginia throw-in deep into the 43rd minute.
I think he's played a very nice half in the back end. Souza helping deny that chance. Talked about how Virginia is okay to play the ball backwards. Happy to do it. Reset. 2 minutes, and Boston College could essentially attain its goal, which is keep the game scoreless over the first 45 minutes.
We expect to see Christopher Conradson in the second half. Expect to see Mike Susky in the second half as well. 2 guys who can make dynamic impacts and really alter the game for the Eagles.
Yeah, Virginia's not as deep. We're not going to see too much coming off the bench in the way of firepower.
You know, they may be as deep in talent, but they don't play anywhere near as deep a rotation. They play much more like a professional team. They make 3 or 4 substitutions throughout the entire course of the match. Cavaliers did not make a substitution through the entirety of this first half. Dodiciano for DK, a little back heel flick. Trickles out. Kellett shielding off Gunnarsson.
Goal kick is the decision.
Boston College will make a substitution. Eagles bring in Zach Peter for the 6th time this year.
One guy to keep an eye on that Coach Galnavach might go to, Spencer Patton. Got a couple of goals this year. He's only made 2 starts. Defender, but he likes to jump up into the fray.
And also Daniel Steedman, a sophomore forward who's come off the bench to score twice this year as well. So there are goal-scoring options on the bench for the Cavaliers. So the other thing you notice is they get goals from everywhere. Nobody on the team has more than 3 goals, but 9 different players have scored at least once.
Boy, Rose just a little bit too far there for Mielis.
Allowed Shuttler to come out and scoop it up, and that basically puts to bed the first half. Well, it's been played at the tempo and pace that Virginia would like. Virginia's had the lion's share of the possession, but an 11-1 shots advantage has not led to anything on target and anything in the back of the net for the Cavaliers. We hit halftime at 0-0.
And as we do so, I think probably the biggest wind gusts of the...
Louisville does today could possibly bump BC down as low as 5th in the Atlantic. Now, when you're going up against Virginia, if you can even get 1 point out of it, you take that 1 point to the bank because you're doing better than basically everybody else is going to do all year.
Well, any point would be a huge resume builder. The other thing, too, Bill, this is the last home game until November for Boston College. Their next 3 are on the road. They're not back here until November the 1st.
And everything in ACC play the rest of the way, at least as of the most recent polls, against ranked opponents for Boston College until they get back home to play Syracuse.
Well, for BC, both Conradson and Susky have checked into the match.
As we expected at halftime, Christopher Conradson, coming back from injury the last week or so, has been fit enough to play the second half, and he'll make a big difference wearing number 77 for Boston College. Mike Susky playing a right attacking midfield position as well out there for BC. Those are the first 2 substitutes of the day for the Eagles in forward positions. Jesus Sawagun did enter in a defense position in the first half. Virginia has made 1 substitution at halftime as well. Spencer Patton has joined the game. DK with a chance. Doniciano's shot is blocked away by Kellett. He had an open net to shoot at, and Kellett got in the way.
Boy, yes, he did have an open net to shoot at. That was ticketed for the back of that net had it not been blocked.
Sawagun's pass forward won't make it through Henry Kessler, who gets to it.
Doniciano has had the 2 best scoring opportunities. Boy, that's close to the hands for Kellett. I think that's got him off the chest.
Yeah, up the upper chest, lower chin. Up top looking for DK, gets through to him, flag stays down. Now Doniciano on the ball. Overlaps with DK.
Remember, Doniciano, he was the one who hit the post late in the first half on the other end of the field.
Yeah, like you said, his 2 best chances so far for the entire Cavaliers squad have both come off the right foot of Doniciano. Does have 2 goals this season, and a goal last year as well.
Shots now 12-1. Cavaliers register the first of the second half. So you wondered, with BC making some lineup changes, would the offense pick up a little bit more? Yet to be seen.
Ball is settled. Here's Patton just into the game, playing up on that left side. Junior from Morrisville, Pennsylvania, scored a couple of goals.
Yeah, and I talked about him late in the first half. He was really the best scoring option, you'd think, for Coach Gelnevach coming off the bench. Spencer Patton
keeps on moving. Odd-angled shot. Garner knocks it out. Christian Garner makes his 7th save of this match. This time turning away Nathaniel Crofts.
Left-footed shot also got deflected by one of the defenders on the way through. I think that made it even more challenging for the BC goalie.
Yeah, it was off Longo first. So corner kick number 6 for the Cavaliers. Joe Bell to take it. Curling over the back post, still not out. Doniciano reserves it. Bounces down to Crofts. Cuts it back. Garner punches away. On the re-trigger, it's ripped wide.
It should be a corner. Garner got a piece.
Yeah, looked like it was deflected.
Well, here's another look. Ball goes across, and there's one punch. But right to Kessler. I think certainly Garner got a piece, didn't you? And that's the decision.
Yep, they do come together and decide corner kick number 7 after Garner got a piece of Kessler's shot. This is over Kessler, rolling toward the side flag, and Kessler keeps it in. All Virginia early in this second half as they've continued to keep the intensity up. Shots now 15-1.
And if you were wondering during halftime, would the rain and the wind slow up a little bit? The answer is an emphatic no.
No.
Nope. Might even be raining a little bit harder, Bill.
Yep. Alex Mielis makes the interception. Looking to get Konradson his first touch of the day, but Kessler intervenes. New York City native Henry Kessler. Such a good athlete, too. He can run with anybody. And big physical imposing presence at center back. Down goes Patton under some pressure from Saagun. DK throws his weight into Longo, comes away with the ball. The second defender, Saagun, back to knock it away from DK.
Boy, Saagun all over the field on that defensive stance. DK looking for a foul. That did not come.
Aaron James tosses it in.
How about already, Bill? Shots 4-0 this half in favor of Virginia.
15-1 overall. Already 2 more saves this half for Garner as well. It's a home game for Aaron James. Mentioned he's from Amherst, but he was born in Boston. So in Massachusetts, born and bred, went to Williston, Northampton for his prep school. Was the number 44 rated recruit in his class, according to Top Drawer Soccer.
This is the time of year you want to be in Western Mass, Bill. It's time for the foliage. Get out there towards Amherst.
Well, and
go a little further, you get to the Berkshires, you see the foliage.
And particularly a coastal storm brewing here in the east. They're not getting any of this rain out there in the west right now.
That's right.
Like an entirely different state out there.
Boy, that's a push from Afamafuna.
And then Lasse Lehman got tied up, and now we'll see if they're going to have to distribute some cards to calm things down.
I think Afamafuna is deserving of one. Well, he gets a tackle from Lehman, and that's what started this whole thing. We're going to take a look at Lehman getting caught up and tangled with Robin Afamafuna. Now, this is the shove that brings him to the ground, but look, you can see Afamafuna kind of dragging Lehman to the ground as he fell. No cards issued.
Maybe too many bodies in there to sort out the cards. So just a free kick for Virginia after the foul on Lehman. And we have hit the 52nd minute in a 0-0 game.
Fouls now 7-4, BC with the 7 of them.
Joe Bell has played every minute the last 2 years for Virginia. Passes forward, and the second pass is sent out for a goal kick.
You were talking about it earlier. Had an English citizen card as well.
Has chosen at least through the junior ranks to play for the New Zealand national program. Again, you're not tied to a country until you cap with the senior national team. So the first time Joe Bell gets a call to play with the senior national club, then that'd be the permanent decision to cap tie himself to New Zealand.
I like that rule, too. Give the young man a little bit of time, youngsters, until you get up to an age where you have to make that commitment.
I think the men's soccer team in New Zealand's called the Ferns, because I think the women's soccer team is the Lady Ferns, if I remember correctly.
Well, the big sport over there is rugby.
Yeah.
That's right.
No, it doesn't matter the sport. They all do the haka beforehand.
Love it.
Ball comes all the way back to Colin Shuttler.
You and I were practicing the haka before, but I think we're going to wait for another match to pull that one out.
You know, I told you if you got out of control, the sassy spray was coming out. This might be time for the sassy spray over there, Josh.
I think Joe Bell would not approve anyways.
It's cut back in as Boston College looking to build, but the offside flag is up. There's Henry Kessler. Big physical presence. Unsurprisingly, his dad was a football player. His mom also played lacrosse at Villanova.
Take a look at that close-up shot we just had of Kessler. Everybody on the field looks like they just jumped out of a pool and didn't have the opportunity to towel off yet.
Now, you know, if you're playing in this, it's not terrible. It actually helps keep you cool. It's when you come out of the game, even halftime, you stop for a few minutes and you just get dumped on. That's when you really feel it. Donasiano ran into trouble. Lasse Lehman takes it away.
Good job by Lehman.
First touch for Christopher Conradson, using that speed and playmaking ability, and he's impeded from behind. Free kick, Boston College in a good spot after the foul on Bell.
From behind, and Conradson with those fresh legs had a step. BC has not had too many of these opportunities. Much coming up from behind as the ball is fed across to Conradson. Right here, Bell, a slight push. Good call. Forearm into the back.
Conradson will take the free kick. Another perk of having him in the game in the second half. He's BC's best free kick taker. Sigurdsson, extra ball for Souza. Back to Sigurdsson, and he fanned on it. Ball out for a goal kick. All it takes is one moment for Boston College if they can continue to keep Virginia off the board, which is why, despite the fact that Virginia's controlled this game, sooner or later you got to punch in one of your 15 opportunities, get a little breathing room.
And BC has to feel like it has some more ammo out on the field right now with both Conradson and Susky, who we haven't really seen get a touch yet. These guys are both quick.
Ellis going hard, and he hammers down James with the yellow card foul. Yellow on Ellis. Late high challenge.
Could have been called the first time. Watch 27 come in here. There's the first push. No whistle. Then he comes back right at James and down to the ground for good measure. He earned that card. But again, Bill, they had to be told by interim coach tonight, Bobby Thompson, had to be told, be physical against these Cavaliers.
Yep.
Second card against BC.
Really is impressive, though, to see how Virginia can just pull the string and control the possession of this game. They've had so much of the ball.
You're not quite at the point yet where one goal wins it. But as you said earlier, against Virginia, it's almost always the case, even if that one goal comes in the first half. BC's done a good job just scratching and clawing to keep them off that scoreboard.
Lehman forward to Conradson, but he was double-teamed. It's the midfield where Virginia is so dominant. Bell the takeaway, looking for DK, into the box, stepping through, score! Virginia is on top, and it's Spencer Patton off the bench to put the Cavaliers ahead.
This came on a giveaway by Conradson, setting the whole thing up, and now you see the back end of it. DK leaves it for Patton. He scored in back-to-back games. No chance for Christian Garner.
Well done by DK to let that ball go through and allow Patton to take it with his preferred foot for his third goal this season. The only substitute who's entered so far for Virginia gets them on the board.
And Bill, this is what set it up again. It's Conradson here. He came up limping after that takeaway by Bell. He wanted a foul too, and the whistle didn't come, but that's what set it up.
Well, remember, right at the time, that's what we were saying. Virginia, the reason they possess the ball so much is because they win balls in the midfield. That's why Boston College hasn't had much in the attacking third. It was just Joe Bell, clean takeaway, and turning that defense straight into offense. Good touch from Lasse Lehman.
Well, and as we just talked about, one goal by Virginia is generally enough against a team that's allowed just one the entire season. And I'm sure the Cavaliers are pretty confident that could be the case again tonight.
Played 57 minutes today. They had a 627-minute scoreless streak coming in, so that's up to 684 minutes and counting for the Cavaliers. BC needs to break that to at least get a point out of today. Need at least one.
I think that man, Mike Susky, could become a factor now, especially as BC tries to press a little bit more. On the goal by Patton, second game in a row that he scores. The assist went to both DK and Joe Bell.
Sixth assist for DK, fourth for Bell. I like in college soccer how they can give the second assist. They don't do that in international soccer, but Joe Bell obviously was very instrumental in the creation of that goal by taking the ball away. Ball will go to the Cavaliers.
Yeah, and
no, beg your pardon, to the
BC,
Eagles.
you know, it's good to see Conradson is staying in and seems to be running well. He was really limping right before that goal after he had given the ball away. He's been battling through injuries. Preseason All-ACC player. Missed 6 straight games till last week.
Virginia's won most of these second balls as well after the initial header. Here's Tyshawn Rose playing it back to Christian Garner. Nothing Garner could do with that shot from Patton, perfectly placed into the corner.
Yep, absolutely. He's got 8 saves tonight. Nothing that Christian Garner should be shrugging his shoulders, dropping his head about. Nobody is stopping that shot.
Lehman for Sigurdsson. Lehman under pressure, goes down, gets back up, they'll play the advantage. Sigurdsson laying off for Saagun, and that's overhit with Mielis making a run. Out for a goal kick, and let's talk a little more about Joe Bell, who set up the goal with that takeaway. Bell, a junior from Wanaka, New Zealand, played at the U20 World Cup last summer. Had a chance to play professionally, turned down a pro contract so that he could continue his collegiate career with Virginia.
A co-captain for this team. Coach Gelnevach loves his leadership. We like his hair.
You know, amazingly has not gotten displaced at all by this rain.
Well, I was going to say those curly locks, they certainly start to droop on your head a little bit more after taking this drenching.
Here's Longo. You know, for Bell to choose to come back to college, I think part of that is those pro contract offers are going to be there if he continues to play at the level he's played. Opportunity to go pro after his junior year, and if he decides to come back, he'll likely still have the opportunity to go pro next year, so he can be a little bit more selective in those types of situations. DK let the ball go through. Longo's first to it for Boston College.
Tyshawn Rose took a shot to the face there, too, from DK.
Donisiano nearly had it, but Longo clears it away.
You know, it's a dangerous game if Boston College wants to try to adjust and push forward a little bit more than they have been. You leave yourself susceptible to the counter against this talented Virginia squad. Thus far, they've still kind of played it tight. You see Bob Thompson working the sidelines for BC as the head coach tonight. What kind of adjustments will he make here?
Lassa Lehman passing it forward. Yeah, you know, this BC team has been a team that's been able to be high pressure and aggressive over the past couple of weeks. You look back to that Wake Forest game. They really took it to Wake in the second half. But the way Virginia can just connect these passes, it is so hard to press them because they move the ball from player to player before you can get anything set up.
What a nice attempt there by Patton, huh?
Souza steps to it to knock it out and smartly keeps it in play. But you're right, Patton had knifed his way around a couple other defenders to get there.
Nifty footwork by the junior. It goes without saying, you can't score if you don't possess the ball. It's been the case all night for the Eagles. Can't quite grab possession to give themselves opportunities. Only 2 shots, and neither of them have been on goal even.
That's why I feel like this Virginia team has a very good chance to keep this going, possibly win an 8th national championship. 7 current NCAA championships for UVA. That's 3rd all time. And once you get in the College Cup type games, once you go deeper into the NCAA tournament, almost all of them end up being, 1-0, 2-1, really tight, physical, low-scoring games. And clearly this is a team built to win a game like that. Ball out to Kellett.
Well, and the adage in other sports goes, defense travels. I think this style of play works wherever you're playing. It also works, apparently, in whatever conditions you're playing in.
Yep. Yeah, if anything, this makes the game even more what Virginia wants, weather like this. Here's a chip from Patton up ahead to Donisiano. Cianio's had 2 good chances to score today, taking a step on Souza. Souza wins the ball away. He has been solid today at the back. Now down to Cianio, keeps battling. Finds Dike. Inside the 18, a drop back. Kessler. It's good possession again from Virginia. Afama Funa's cross is too tight to Garner. He squeezes it.
You see why Daryl Dike has earned so many penalties for his team. Working inside the box, he just kind of boxes you out and forces you for the contact. So not only can he score, but he can give his teammates opportunities on penalty kicks.
Susky calling for the ball on the wing. Konradson couldn't take it through Andreas Ueland. Not going to beat many of these Virginia defenders one-on-one.
Nope.
Oh, good run by Lehman. Some positive build for Boston College as we were into the 64th minute. 1-0 Virginia on the goal off the bench from Spencer Patton in the 57th minute. Susky down the sideline, centering pass off the defender and in! It's an own goal! And it ends UVA's 690-minute scoreless drought. Ueland poked it in.
Bill, I was just about to say that you figured it would have to be some sort of fluky play if BC was going to get the equalizer, and that's exactly what this is. But give Susky credit. Watch the freshman hustle to keep that in, and what a mistake. Andreas Ueland, the freshman out of Norway, right into his own net. My goodness, what a way for BC to level the match.
So it's only the second goal conceded by Virginia all year. In the 65-minute here, it stops a 692-minute shutout streak for Virginia. And all of a sudden, 1-1 game, 65th minute. Virginia's 10-0-0 start in jeopardy again.
And again, it's the substitutes for Boston College making plays. That time it's Susky. He'll get credit for the goal, even though it's knocked in by Virginia. Second game in a row, which he scored in the second half. Oh, Tyshawn Rose, a long run to go after that loose ball with Aaron James.
Yeah, that's got to put some wind in the sails of these Eagles. Mike Susky on an own goal. Off Ueland and in. 1-1, 65th minute. And now it's a 25-minute match to see if anyone can find the game winner.
Shocking, really. You never would have expected a mistake like that from this Virginia team.
And you wonder how they respond. This is only the second time all year they've had to deal with this type of adversity. They bounced back in the game against Duke to get a second goal and pick up a 2-1 win. Can the Cavs do the same here?
I don't know that you can blame the elements for that either by Ueland. I know that it's a terrible weather night. Ball was right there on his foot. He had to know where he was on the field, too.
This is James forward. Yeah, you wonder, was it just a mishit? Did he slip just a little bit? Dangerous part of that play, too, for Ueland was he probably assumed there was a runner for Boston College, but there wasn't. There was no one around him.
Absolutely. The only two people in the area were Ueland and Shuttler, the goalie.
Guy's been so good in his freshman year. George Gelnovac just raves about Ueland and how he hasn't really played like a freshman. But, everybody makes a mistake at some point during the course of a long season, and when you play center back, your mistakes are amplified.
He's pushing forward here. Ueland is the one who brought it across midfield here, trying to get it back.
Here comes BC surging back. Sargun up to Konradson, and he couldn't corral it. It bounces back off Bell. Rain is still coming down sideways across the pitch as Konradson off the takeaway works forward. It's just 2-on-5 though. Look how quickly Virginia gets back after the turnover. there are no opportunities really to get numbers in transition against the Cavaliers.
Feels like they're playing with 12 men.
Over the top for Susky. He does track it down at the quarter flag. Susky making a run. And defended well. James with the up top defense. Uland comes over to finish off the play. I really think Aaron James has had a tremendous match for Virginia today.
I don't know that the game plan changes all that much for Virginia 1-1. Other than, of course, you want to try to get a goal, but just keep doing what you're doing. You've been dominating play regardless.
And they come with a surge, and that's a much-needed slide tackle by Victor Souza to break the transition opportunity. Souza's been very good when called upon again tonight. That's been the theme for him all year. Steps up, and Souza forces the turnover. Good ball wide to Mielis. He's fouled. Quick little tug from Afama Funa. That's a professional foul.
Well, in a game where UVA is out shooting Boston College 16-3, we've got ourselves an even game with 22 minutes remaining in regulation. Really startling turn of events.
Number one, Virginia, 10-0-0. Boston College, who beat third-ranked Wake Forest last week. Virginia took the lead in the 57th minute. An own goal credited to Mike Sutton has put the Eagles level.
I know you're not on the team, so this is really good for us all to know that
3 goals this year now for Susky, freshman from Windsor, Connecticut. And hey, again, just do anything you can to get the ball near the goal and give yourself a chance. That's what he did.
And he used his speed to get free down the wing, which is one of his big strengths. Nathaniel Crofts making a run for Virginia. Tyshawn Rose holds him up. It's a good pass to Donacciano. Back for Crofts. Cut back to the center and intercepted. Donacciano trying to spin through a double team, and he loses it. Here's Joe Bell winning that 50-50 ball. Segerton all over him. And Bell elects to play possession, bring it all the way back to Uland.
Boy, that could have been dangerous. DK had a step, but it was too much of a step. Flag up, offsides.
Offsides on DK. 1-1 scoreline. We played about 70 minutes. Neither side scored until the 57th minute. We've seen 2 goals over the last 13 minutes to bring the score to 1-1.
That's headed out by Virginia, too. That's off of Aaron James, so BC's going to get a throw in here.
Pushing bodies forward, Eagles clad in white, Virginia in the navy blue, and Boston College will make a substitution. Beto Luna returns to the game. He takes the place of Mielis. Out goes Aaron James, and comes Axel Gunnarsson for Virginia.
Gunnarsson, he's going to give a little bit more offense here to the Cavaliers. See how BC plays this throw in here. They want to try to get it to the middle, almost like a corner.
A lot of bodies in the mixer. Ball skips in front, and now down to Conradson. From an odd angle, high risers wide. He's from a long way out, off the mark, still 1-1.
Yeah, left-footed shot though. Good idea. Not off the mark by much. Salagoon's done a nice job for Boston College since he came off the bench today. Very active.
He's disrupted a lot of opportunities for Virginia. Crofts charging forward, throw in Boston College. Last off Crofts, the junior out of England. This is not a Virginia team that scored a ton of goals, so asking them to score a second to extend their win streak. Conradson picks out a good ball wide, comes back to the center, and it's cleared out. Kessler with a strong right-footed reaction.
Boy, they were looking for Sigurdsson. That's Beto Luna. And it's knocked out.
Here are 2 goals today. The first for Virginia, the 57th minute. Spencer Patton poked it into the corner. As the Virginia team hadn't given up a goal in more than 690 minutes until this. Huskies cross played into Ueland, and Ueland into his own net. Joe Bell with the ball, works it to the outside. Apologize for the technical difficulties with Josh Mauer, Bill Spalding. We had a power surge here. Literally all the lights went off in the booth on the field. Game stopped for a couple of seconds. Everything came back on. And our crew did a great job getting us back on as well. You didn't miss much. Cameras were back almost immediately, so you've seen what happened. A really good chance for Nathaniel Crofts, the biggest thing that you've missed during the course of those 3 minutes. And Josh, it's still a 1-1 game, 14 minutes left in regulation, unbeaten, untied Virginia and Boston College.
BC, they're applying a little bit of pressure as Shuttler had to come out and grab the ball. Not surprising that you'd have a power issue on a night like tonight, Bill, with the wind and the rain falling all day here into the evening hours. It's a pretty remarkable thing, actually, that we got back going as quickly as we did, I think.
It is, and the fact that the lights and everything came right back on, too. Thought for a second that maybe we were going to be down for a while. Here's Gunnarsson. Virginia looking to go back on top. Continuing to build. Donasiano's had some great chances today. Afamafuna to the outside. Big bodies in front. It comes back to Afamafuna. Serving it. Back post. Too tight to Garner. Christian Garner's had a great game today. 9 saves already, keeping Boston College in this.
Virginia was looking for Gunnarsson. He's going to that back post. Just a little too much air underneath it.
Susky surging forward. Couldn't get past Andreas Ueland. You know Ueland wants to make amends for that own goal.
Quick giveaway there by Rose. And this is the time of the game now, Bill, where you really do feel that next goal wins. Almost, it's in essence sudden death, if not in name.
Good step in from Salagoon. Yeah, you wouldn't expect more than 1 goal left in this match, particularly, again, the way Virginia defends. Virginia's only given up now 2 goals all season, 1 against Duke and 1 today. Obviously, that means they haven't given up more than a goal in any match this year. It's Kessler slow to get up behind the play as Donasiano tries to bring it in, and Souza and Sahagún are there. Boy, Jesus Sahagún didn't start this game, but the sophomore's been one of the most impactful players for Boston College today.
Great tackle there. Cleanly got the ball, and now he gets a steal for his team.
Sahagún out of Miami and prepped at the IMG Academy. Some serious hustle from Christopher Conradson, putting pressure on Shuttler. Ball stays in bounds. Beto Luna wins the header for Boston College. Eagles on the comeback. Lassa Lima to the 79th minute. Lays it back patiently to captain Joe Kellett. Using the head, just a little flick from Halsey back to Shuttler, and he'll start the distribution.
Has to make your heart race a little bit, though, if you're Virginia, having seen an own goal just minutes earlier. That's pretty routine play, but considering the conditions, sending the ball to your own goalie, do that at your own peril.
Here's Halsey again, sophomore from Sterling, Virginia. DK couldn't catch that cleanly. Glances off him all the way back to Garner again.
Really tough chance there for DK. High pass. Try to reach up, deflect it. Garner playing a little game of cat and mouse. Got to make sure of everything at this point. It's the time of the game where one mistake can cost you, especially with this weather.
Kessler across for Ueland. There is a little bit more of an aggressive up-the-field push from Boston College right now on the press, and it leads to a turnover. Tyshawn Rose to the outside for Mike Susky. 80th minute, top-ranked Virginia. Won all 10 games they've played. Boston College looking to develop the reputation of giant killer after beating Wake Forest last week. Now trying to take down UVA the following Friday. That would likely vault this BC team into the top 25.
I think it would also vault them into the NCAA tournament, likely. That's what's on the line for this team in the next 10, if not more minutes.
Conradson into space. Christopher Conradson stopped up by and it's away. Ueland and Crofts combined on the takeaway.
I think Susky may be more hoping.
Yep.
Call was not going to come there inside the box. Not at this time of the game.
Yeah, I think that was the right call for sure. Here's David Longo. But Conradson's laboring. He's all over it when he gets the ball. He's fighting through that pain, but he was very slow to get back on side here off behind the ball. Whenever he does not have it, he is definitely feeling some discomfort.
And I think Bob Thompson's going to have to think about getting Conradson out of this match. Look at 77 there, limping towards the ball. That's going to be a goal kick.
So ball back to BC. Conradson not at 100%. That's why he hasn't been able to play a full 90. Giving a Warriors effort. When he's had the ball, he has been pedal to the metal with his aggressive pursuit. But, yeah, he is struggling here, particularly if this game heads toward additional time.
Certainly he's not going to want to come off. But I think in watching the body language, his coach might have to think about doing it regardless. His time on the field is probably limited now.
That's a good ball to the outside. Gunnarsson working against Longo. Donasiano.
Michael, you got to drop in there for now.
Donasiano. And Bell distributing. Toma Funwa to the outside.
Wind blowing sideways, blowing the rain almost equally in the face of each team as it swirls. It is not fun out there on the pitch, I can tell you. These guys giving it their all now for 80-plus minutes.
And for the most part, they've done a good job of not letting this weather influence the game. It hasn't felt all that different than I think you would have expected this game to be if it was totally clear tonight.
Yeah, with the one big question mark, did the weather, the wet field impact the own goal there by Uland?
Good point. Good point. Susky on the sideline. Going hard, gets around Kessler, taken down, and the referee says, get up. A lot more contact there, but Carmen Serbio did not want to make the foul call.
Boy, I think Mike Susky had a lot more of a case on this one. There's Serbio, who said play on. Let's take a look. Here comes the move, and here comes the takedown right there with the foot.
Yeah, it was that second lunge.
That's a foul.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Should have been.
Missed call.
Would have been a free kick just outside the 18. So the Cavs catch a break this time around, though Halsey cannot keep that ball in. He lets it go out for a throw-in. Eagles take over. We are in the 84th minute, still 1-1. BC bench still really giving the business to Carmen Serbio.
Fouls are pretty much even in this match. 9-8 BC. Eagles have the 2 yellow cards.
DK trying to push his way through, and David Longo is tagged for a foul. DK remains down on the pitch. Free kick Virginia from a very good spot.
I don't know if there's much question about this one. So much body being used by the smaller Longo. David Longo, 5'11" versus DK, 6'2". Almost like he's boxing him out. And Longo just drags him down there. DK on that turf, getting the attention. He's played the whole way. Nothing else, getting a little bit more of a rest.
Virginia's only used 2 substitutes. Spencer Patton and Cabral Happy Kamseu are the only 2 who have played off the bench. Again, Patton has the goal at this point. DK using as much time as he can here, grabbing a swig of the Gatorade bottle as well.
Well, Virginia has time to set up this free kick that's forthcoming. Officials are going to go to the monitor here, Bill, which they can do. And take a look at this contact that comes from David Longo.
So he's boxing out. Oh, and then it's the elbow that came up there and caught DK right in the chops. That's why you saw that dramatic snap back of the head.
I think you could hear referee there, Carmen Serbio. He said, I've got nothing. So he took a look at that contact, and they'll just say a regular foul, I believe.
That's interesting because it did appear like there was elbow contact. Now, maybe the decision was that it was incidental elbow contact, but Hard to call that nothing.
Well, the incidental contact is exactly what he rules. An elbow to the face, I'm sure Daryl Dike is saying, is hardly incidental.
I don't think he cares whether it's an incidental or not. It feels the same to him.
Well, Joe Bell has been really dangerous tonight on these free kick opportunities. Let's see how they play this one. All those big bodies in the middle.
85th minute, Virginia's dominated this game in terms of the shots, 17-3, but does not have a lead to show for it. Bell chipping way too tight to Garner. You expect Joe Bell to do even better than that from there.
This side, Steph, this side.
Virginia wants to restart this one pretty quickly. Officials tell them to back up a little.
Robin Afamafuna, the captain out of Germany. You know, he mentioned that Denisiano was one of 10 kids. Well, Afamafuna one-upped him. He was one of 11. He has 4 brothers and 6 sisters. His family from Würselen, Germany. The Afamafunas can field the full 11. Sagoon. Susky. Seems like the wind is at its highest level of the entire game right now as Susky wins a corner kick for Boston College with the wind just howling across the pitch at the moment.
And again, it's Andreas Uhland. He's had a tough half on that side of the pitch. First corner of the night for the Eagles coming up.
With a chance to go ahead in the 86th minute. Lasse Lehmann serves it. Still free in the box and finally cleared out. Boy, Cavaliers let that one bounce dangerously. Sagoon, nobody home, DK the takeaway. Bell calmly chips it forward. That's a perfect ball ahead to Gunnarsson. And the Eagles reclaim Longo. Ooh, he slipped. DK takes over. Daryl DK couldn't make it through the second defender, Sagoon, with Souza helping as well.
That was the very back line of the defense. Otherwise, it was going to be an easy shot. DK could never get it off. 3:45 to go.
If this game remains tied, we will go to sudden death extra time for a maximum of 20 minutes. A foul on Bell.
Here comes DK here. Watch this after the ball touches off of Longo's foot. And watch DK take over. But give Longo and then Sagoon coming in. Nope.
Souza, yeah.
Souza, beg your pardon.
Yep, made the big play. Victor Souza has had such a good game as a freshman center back against the #1 team in the country.
Well, I think that's about a handful of opportunities that he himself has helped prevent. Another player hits the field. That time it's Afamafuna.
And we get a yellow card issued on Sigurdsson. It does feel as well that we're seeing more and more slipping, which isn't all that surprising because they haven't been able to treat the field during the course of these 2 hours. They have a machine that actually helps get some of the water off this pitch. Let's look again at what netted Sigurdsson a yellow.
He had something to say there for the officials, too. Meanwhile, Virginia presses on.
Ball down. Donisiano is impeded. That was well done by Joe Kellett to get to that ball. Now Kessler. Croft's pass broken up and cleared away. Lasse Lehmann sends it out to midfield.
Not quite out of harm's way yet.
Never out of harm's way when Joe Bell has the ball on his foot.
He's a magician at times.
Here's Halsey again, sending it through. Garner went out to try and intercept, and it slid past him. Out for a corner kick off Kellett as we tick toward the 89th minute. Virginia looking for a late winner.
No choice here for Kellett. Once this ball gets past Christian Garner, he knows there's nobody back. So just hit that one out. Give up the corner.
Into the mixer, bouncing through, and there's Mike Susky to swoop it up.
That's a way to clear it tonight, too. Keep it low. Don't let that wind play tricks with it. All the way back makes Virginia retreat.
If you're Boston College right now, how cautious do you play this, especially if this game heads to extra time, knowing that against Virginia, even a draw would feel like a major victory in terms of taking a point out of this, or at this point at 1-1, are you totally opening things up?
I think you don't do anything differently than what you've done all night, which is attack if you see an opportunity, but otherwise play it cautiously and make sure you don't give up an odd man opportunity for the Cavaliers.
Well, Conradson hobbling again after he tried to slip around the defense of Kessler. Souza intervening.
Boy, Conradson is really, really shaken up. That was a man-down situation there, essentially, for Boston College.
He's back into the play now as Sigurdsson settles. Final 40 seconds of regulation. Number one, Virginia's only had to go to extra time once this year. As this trickles on in all the way back to Garner. Boston College going to push them to the extra stanza again, barring something crazy in the final 25 seconds. Garner trying to back DK away. And using that wind, sends that rainmaker, which, hey, we don't need any more rain, to the offensive end. Conradson, final 10 seconds. Susky, is there magic at the end? No. Kessler clears it, and we are headed to extra time. Boston College has 20 minutes to try to be the first team to hand a defeat to Virginia. A goal aside,
whether it's a win or a tie, that puts them in great position and really elevates their resume.
BC 7-2-2, 1-2-1 in the ACC, but they started 0-2 in ACC play, so they're 1-0-1 in their last 2 league games. They're unbeaten in their last 5 games overall. Going to stretch that streak to 6. Meanwhile, Virginia has won all 10 games it's played this year, all 4 conference games. The Eagles trying to hand them either their first loss or even first draw. Start the first overtime session. If you're new to college soccer, it's first goal wins. If we get through these 10 minutes without a goal, we'll put another 10 minutes on the clock. Joe Kellett serves it in for BC, and it's headed out by Bell.
Well, Virginia has an overtime win this season. It came the only game they had given up a goal prior to tonight at Duke. Boston College has played some overtimes, but yet to have a goal scored. All draws once they've gone to extra time thus far in 2019.
By the way, Mike Susky has stayed in this game for Boston College, but unsurprisingly, Christopher Conradson has come out. He played the whole 45 of the second half, the most minutes he's played since coming back from injury, and you could tell by the end he was really laboring there, so Eagles down one of their top playmakers again.
He was fighting it. There you saw Susky, the goal scorer.
And Adam French has come back in to take Conradson's spot.
Leadership of the field, French. Loose. Foul on BC.
Yeah, Souza tried to go over the top of DK, and Souza's tagged with the foul. Boy, Daryl DK has gotten that treatment that oftentimes some of the biggest players get, where because you're so big, other guys try to rough you up, and he's taken some shots today.
Been a really good, strong defensive game by Victor Souza. I don't think there's much question on that foul there.
Bell chips it into the box looking for a winner. Glances off the head of Sigurdsson straight backwards and out for a corner. This is the 10th corner kick today for Virginia.
Sigurdsson played that conservatively. May have been able to do a little bit more with that. Just knocked it back. Again, it's Bell.
Into the box, over everybody to the back post. It's blocked. Guess who? Victor Souza there to stuff Henry Kessler.
Kessler had time to collect that and get the shot off. Souza intervening right in between.
Bell looking for another corner. Over everybody and nearly headed home by Euland. That would have been poetic justice for the freshman who scored the own goal earlier. Ball makes it all the way through and the Eagles survive.
And Garner maybe mistimes his jump a little bit here. Let's see. Nope, just goes over his outstretched arm.
And it was Euland who got it clean, but missed it wide for the goal kick. Goodness.
And Kessler was coming there too, right on the back door. Couldn't quite reach it before it sailed out. A couple of really good scoring opportunities early in the first overtime.
Well, Andreas Euland has been amazing in his freshman year, but he's going to rue a few of these chances if Virginia doesn't leave as winners tonight.
I said at the end of regulation too, Bill, I think if you're Boston College, you still kind of play this conservatively.
Yep.
Only if an opportunity really presents itself to attack do you go forward.
Long ball over the top. That's what the Eagles have relied on today, these home run balls, looking for that one magical moment. You and I were talking during the break. You know, you take the own goal out of the equation, and Virginia's defense has been as good as advertised. Boston College really hasn't had an A-grade scoring chance today.
And you wouldn't even say that the goal was a real A-grade scoring chance. It was an own goal, knocked in. It was not a shot towards Shuttler. But in fact, that's the only shot on goal officially that BC has, and it wasn't even really a shot on goal by their own team.
Yeah, Virginia just locks down that 18. They don't let the ball inside there. Eagles have not been able to get bodies forward. Right on cue, though, they start to move up the pitch, and now BC forced to retreat. We're into the 95th minute. Susky's cut to the center of the pitch. Doniciano. Here's Patton, who scored already once today. DK. Doniciano. Now Halsey back for Doniciano. His cross deflects out off Kellen. It's another corner kick, the 12th for Virginia. Banging on the door again.
Now, BC was just in full retreat there. Kellett's the one who eventually knocks the shot attempt out. Look at those corner opportunities that the Cavaliers have had, and they haven't scored.
Toward Euland, headed away. Boston College with strong defense once again. Stefan Sigurdsson, who's one of the tallest Eagles, goes high to win that header. 12 set pieces, nothing to show for it on the corner kicks for Virginia today.
You know, this was, if you looked at the forecast, about the time of the night where the rain was supposed to dissipate.
They have no dissipating going on right now.
No, it's still coming. Maybe not quite as much wind at the moment.
Patton. Doniciano tried to cut it inside. Salagoon broke up the pass. James's cross. Souza heads it down, and it'll trickle out of bounds for the 13th corner kick today for Virginia.
Virginia wants this win. They want the full points. Everybody forward there on that attack. You could feel BC just kind of hanging on at the moment.
It's a bunker mentality right now for BC.
Kessler's been great on these. Number 5.
Right into the center. Still not out of the woods. Susky gets a piece of it. That looked like that came up off the hand of Crofts, but no whistle. BC survives that 13th Virginia corner kick.
Survived the corner, still can't win possession back though. Good job by the Cavaliers here in the overtime, just hanging on to the ball.
Famafuna back to Kessler. This has been the way the possession's gone all match. Virginia has just totally controlled the ball. And that's what they've done all season. Now game number 11, they've dominated all 11. Tyshawn Rose takes it away for BC, bullying Patton. Sigurdsson tried to jump hard into Bell. Now comes back to Bell. Famafuna.
No foul.
Nathaniel Cross with 2 defenders on him, goes right around Susky, but Souza swipes it away. BC committing all 11 to defense. Susky spending a lot of time pinned back.
You don't blame him. Fresh legs in the game, by the way, for Coach Gelnevach. It's number 15, Philip Horton. Freshman has checked in.
To the back post. Crofts couldn't connect.
Boy, he was open too there. Backside, and they just can't hit him. Watch the feed coming here from Spencer Patton. Just a little bit out of the reach. Substitute for Boston College. They're going to get Ian Bueller back into this match.
Christopher Conradson comes back in as well, so Conradson will fight through it a little bit longer. He takes the spot of Alex Mielis.
If nobody scores, still a second overtime period to come in this one. So more opportunities. About 16 minutes to go.
Conradson still really struggling. He's going to save all of his energy for if he can get on the ball and try to make a magical run forward. Digging after it, he comes up empty. Afamafuna takes it away. Donasiano is bowled over. It's a foul on Saagun.
Good opportunity here for the Cavaliers.
40 seconds left in the overtime. There is no stoppage time.
A dangerous free kick here coming from Bell.
Joe Bell curls it. Center of the box. Still free. And Joe Kellett gets it out. Crofts trying to cut it back in. Plays it up off Tyshawn Rosen out for a throw in. 20 seconds left in overtime. Final 10 seconds.
Oh, nice job there by Sigurdsson for BC to step up. Helping out his defense.
Comes to Conradson. He's going to use some energy to churn it forward here right at the end of the half. And blast one as we head to the second overtime. Some of the heat off Justin Fuentes and that staff, but a long way to go for that Hokie club. That nightcap is really intriguing as you kind of look at the Atlantic Division and the hierarchy right now. Wake Forest has positioned itself as maybe the second best team behind Clemson in the Atlantic, but Louisville built some confidence with its win over Boston College last week, and a win tomorrow night for Louisville and maybe put them into that second place positioning.
They got a good new coach out there in Louisville, Kentucky. That's Scott Satterfield. It's coming from that great Appalachian State program too. And it seems like he's turning things around. Good game tomorrow night. Two teams with momentum, Demon Deacons and the Cardinals.
All right, we have 9:30 to go here. We're in the 101st minute. Top-ranked Virginia trying to stay unbeaten, untied with more pressure before Joe Kellett clears it away. Virginia is 10-0-0 on the season. They've surrendered only their second goal allowed the entire season today, but they have dominated this game, outshooting BC 21-3. Just haven't been able to find that second goal.
It is remarkable that BC is still playing in this game. Again, it's an own goal. The reason for it, they have not, on their own volition anyways, had a shot on goal. But yet, here we play into the second overtime.
Donasiano's cross to the center, and that's Sousa clearing it away.
That's a lot what the first overtime looked like, isn't it, Bill? Pressure,
pressure,
pressure coming from the Cavaliers looking for the winner.
Yeah, right now Boston College, again, putting 10 or 11 behind the ball. They'd be very happy to get out of here with the first point taken from Virginia the entire season. Cavaliers are greedy. They want the full 3 to head back to Charlottesville at 11-0-0.
And they want that win, too. Cavaliers don't want to give up the tie. Really up the tempo, pushed to try to get the game winner in each of the overtime periods.
Wind's really picked up again, and it's blowing in Virginia's face, so that adds just a little bit of an extra challenge for the Cavaliers. They play the ball on the ground here. Kessler moves it to Afamafuna. Donasiano. Here's Afamafuna's cross, and Sousa heads it out. Victor Sousa has been so good at center back. Saagun on the ball, he has Sigurdsson with him. And Virginia quickly gets 4 back on the defense, and a foul is called against James. who may go into the book as well. He'll pick up a yellow.
Counter opportunity here. Sawagun over for Sigurdsson, and watch the trip coming right there.
I beg your pardon, I said James. It was down to Ciano. Steps on Sigurdsson.
Yeah, not much. I don't know that that's card worthy. Certainly a foul. And no yellow. No, there was a yellow given, I beg your pardon, to Donaciano. He picks up the first yellow card of the night for the Cavaliers.
And now a set piece for Boston College. Kellett pumps it over everybody and out. That one may have been boosted just a bit by the wind.
You know, the real puddling that you see comes around the midfield area. Hours and hours of rain taken by this field turf. Back near the goals, at least you don't see the water collecting as much as it is right around that midfield stripe.
Long ball forward. Top-ranked Virginia trying to stay unbeaten, untied. They need to find a goal in the next 7 minutes. But that's a whistle on the Cavaliers. Is stepping up, Philip Horton picked his boots up high. Horton is the fresh legs that's come in lately. He has a goal in his freshman season. And he has some Boston ties. His dad, Timothy, played at Boston University. Not many freshmen that see regular time for this Virginia team. Basically just the two, Horton and Euland. That's another reason why Virginia is so strong. They're super experienced.
Sawagun really aggressive there.
Sprays
gets a takeaway
to Sigurdsson. Trying to step around Euland. Adam French knocked down off the ball, and it's a foul on Virginia in a super dangerous spot just outside the 18. This will be the best chance of the game for Boston College to try to find a winner.
I think it's James. This was a very late whistle, but watch 28 away from the play. Yep, that's James right there.
And that's a foul.
Absolutely, good call. It doesn't matter if it comes late if you got it right. And the official gives the free kick.
Conradson is back out of the game, so this is Joe Kellett and Tyshawn Rose standing over the ball. Kellett is senior from Norfolk, Massachusetts. He'll lay off. And now Tyshawn Rose cuts it in. I wonder if that was a design play to feint the frustration and then try to find somebody in the midst of the chaos.
It didn't look like they were feigning the frustration. It almost looked like Rose was saying, hey, Joe, you said you were going to take the kick. And finally, he came back and did, but didn't challenge Virginia.
Crofts looking to run this one down, cuts it back, and Garner's there looking to keep it in play. That ball sailed out of bounds. Did Garner touch it first? He did. It's a corner kick for Virginia, their 14th of the night.
Boy, Bill, that was really close to being already over the end line by the time he got to that ball. Referee says not.
Skips through the box once again. Patton, second ball. Ooh, that's dangerous. Rose gets it out back to Bell for a throw-in. 106th minute. Bell's cross headed out. This BC defense has been pressured and pressured again, but hasn't really cracked. Stood strong in this overtime. Afamafuna tracks down the ball that spills all the way back to the midfield. All 11 back behind the ball for BC. The Virginia keeper, Shuttler, is basically at midfield.
Yep. You can see again how much they want this goal here, pressing forward.
Ciano gets it back on the give and go, and there's Lasse Lehman with an intervention. Eagles need to survive 3:45. Virginia continuing to send waves of pressure forward.
Boston College has not had a shot attempt in either of the overtimes. Only 3 for the entire match. UVA continues to press, and a whistle going against Virginia.
Yeah, James just lost it out of bounds.
Conradson's going to come back into this match.
Boy, this is a
roll of the dice.
Warriors effort from Conradson, who is clearly still not 100%, but he wants to be in here for this Boston College team, and He's given everything.
You can see even right there as he walked onto the pitch, limping. He's really, as you said, only exerted the full run, the full energy when he's had a chance to make a play.
Nice header from French down to Sigurdsson. He's played the full 106 minutes at this point. Souza sees it bounce off down to Ciano, and it will end up all the way back with the keeper, Garner.
Oh, boy. A little bit of contact there.
It's Philip Horton who came up and said hello.
Garner's just, again, playing that cat and mouse game, waiting as long as he can to pick the ball up. And with arms up, Horton comes in on him.
Here's Conradson. Couldn't work his way around as Halsey stepped in.
Boy, that's a bad giveaway there in the back end by Virginia.
2:05 to go. Boston College can push some bodies forward here, take a risk, try and equalize. Excuse me, try to go ahead.
Yeah, Alejandro Zimmerman, too, a freshman out of Costa Rica, is going to check into the match for the first time.
He'll take Bueller's spot in the 109th minute.
Well, you talk about fresh legs. He's got them more than anybody out there on the field at the moment.
Looking to work around Bell. That's up off of Saagun's arm, a handball.
Let's see how quickly Virginia goes here. Time becoming certainly precious, only 90 seconds.
He said at the top of the show, for Boston College, a good result here would be just taking a point out of this match. No one's been able to do that against top-ranked Virginia. Cavaliers have won all 10 matches they've had this season. They have just 75 seconds left to find a game winner here. BC wins the ball in the midfield. Conradson. It's a good ball across the pitch. Sigurdsson steps in front of Zimmerman. Sigurdsson looking to cut it forward. Couldn't get it past down to Ciano. Into the final minute of this match. Zimmerman stepped in. That sprayed the ball to Saagun. Yule into the outside. Afamafuna. Blue jerseys rushing forward. Cavaliers with one more chance. And they pass it out of bounds. Afamafuma not on the same page as Patton.
And that may have been weather related too. Ball came off his foot at an odd angle, straight over the sideline, out of bounds. If BC doesn't turn it over here, you figure they've ensured at least the point. Well, they do give it away.
Final 10 seconds. Ball heading out, and Boston College, a bunker mentality, and you can see that they wanted to make sure they got a point. For the first time this year, Virginia leaves the pitch without a win. A 1-1 draw, top-ranked Virginia and Boston College, as the Eagles stretch their unbeaten streak to 6